Okay, you got that in your head. You've closed. Your eyes are closed.
Okay,
You're thinking of the PS1.
I am.
What's the first game that comes to your mind?
Crash Bandicoot.
This is why we're best friends, Joe. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We are finally on YouTube now for the 30th episode of Cup of Joe's. That's why we were going to wait for a big episode. I'm Joe Brown, joined by my best friend Joe Perrian. Where now we have our Podbean audio listeners as well. But if you are interested, for big number 30, Cup of Joe's, kind of rhymes. We created a YouTube channel. We're going to put other stuff here on the channel also. Like, I'm going to talk about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee demo, review for different games, other topics. Maybe we'll even fit other podcasts with other people that aren't Joe and myself on the channel. So make sure you subscribe and everything like that. But if this is your first episode of Cup of Joe's, what we do here, Joe Brown, Joe Perrian, we are big nerds, big gamers. We're all into that nerd culture stuff, and we talk every week about what's been going on in the gaming sphere, and we have a good time, right, Joe?
We have a great time here every week.
So the first thing we're going to talk about, I am a gigantic Pokemon fan, have been since back in the day. Joe, what was your first Pokemon game?
Dude, my first Pokemon game?
Yeah.
It was the blue.
Blue, nice. Mine was red, so I won in that one. Just kidding.
I see we're coming out of the gate hot today, so we're gonna take this slow and we're gonna see what happens in this episode, everybody.
Hot like red, like the better version. Anyway, anywho,
there is no difference between the versions because the exact same things happen in them. Joe Brown.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, whatever. It's funny that blue was my favorite color, but red was my first Pokemon game. You would have assumed, as like a little 5-year-old, I would have chose red as my favorite color.
But I'm sure your older brother had a say in which one he wanted.
Yes, he got to choose blue, which was part of the problem. And then he got silver, and I got gold, and I feel like silver was cooler than gold. Probably, right?
It's probably because of the ones that you got. You were like, these are cooler because I have them.
No. I had gold. But I'm saying, like, objectively, I think people like Lugia more than they like Ho-Oh, right? Like, Lugia had his own movie, and, so I'm just
But Ho-Oh was in the original show.
First of all, he's not Santa Claus. It's not Ho-Ho. It's Ho-Oh. Like, oh.
Okay, sorry.
Look at that giant rainbow chicken.
Okay, Ho-Ho.
No! Ho-Oh. Like George Takei. Think of it like, oh my.
Ooh. Okay, fine. So Oh-Oh.
Oh my god, I hate you.
Ho-Oh was in the first, like, he was in the first
episode. Shiny
first
Ho-Oh, mind you. Didn't even exist yet. Already had a shiny. So it's a pretty big deal. What a bro. And then Ho-Oh was regarding the latest Pokemon movie that came out last year, was like the main legendary in it too. So it's Ho-Oh's finally getting some love, but for the longest I felt like Lugia was more popular in the fandom. But anyway, this previous weekend was the 2018 Pokemon World Championships held in Nashville, Tennessee. I went down with a bunch of friends. I'm very, very involved within the Pokemon community, especially the competitive part. I mixed up my words there. So it was a lot of fun going down with people, seeing the venue and everything. If you follow me on Twitter at Zemanan, you'll see all the photos. It's Xeminan. It was really, really fun time. I feel bad because I want to tell Joe about everything, but then I'm like, but I have to save it for the pod so he has genuine reactions and surprises and things. So it's kind of a weird dilemma that I put you in every time I go to these events, Joe.
He does it every time, and it makes me so mad. But we do it for you.
We do it for you, the listener. Well, one thing I did tell you though was that I was going to play the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee demo.
I did get the forehead, the heads up on
the
that
four
one.
heads up. I got not 3 heads. I got 4 heads. So it's really just a celebration of all things Pokemon. Like I play the video game, but it's not just a video game. There's the trading card game. There's Pokken Tournament. There's Pokemon Go. There's like side events and different things like that. And at the World Championships, how they always open up the new ceremony, they always give like brand new news, like shocking things. You can go onto Twitter and Facebook and promote the event, and like, wow, this crazy thing happened. So when the World Championships were in Boston in 2015, they announced Pokken Tournament there, and they had a demo in the background in the back of the venue. That was crazy hype because people for literally a decade and a half have been saying, man, Pokemon would be so cool if it had its own fighting game. And I waited in line for like an hour and a half to play Pokken back in Boston. That was rough. But this time they had Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and there was no announcement, which people were a little upset about because you would assume at the world's biggest stage, it's kind of like the E3 for the Pokemon company every year, right? You would assume they'd give you something for the upcoming game. But instead, we got this actually really cool thing. I don't know if you were probably working while the opening ceremony was going on, but the director of the Let's Go not Let's Go movie, the Detective Pikachu movie, the director of the film came onto the stage, introduced himself, and then, Joe, I don't know if I can hang out with you anymore because I'm Hollywood now. I'm famous. You know
what did he do? What did he do?
He had the crowd, depending on which side of the crowd you're on, left or right, chant Pikachu or Charizard, and he was going to use the World Championship crowd, which was over like 5,000 people that were there. Our audio is going to be in the movie, so I guess at some point Pikachu fights Charizard, which is going to be awesome. But so I'm famous now. I'm in a movie.
Oh, I'm sure you're definitely going to get the credit for it, my dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal now. I'm gonna go find an agent and put that credit there. But I was on the Pikachu side, and boy, Joe, let me tell you, I was screaming my lungs off, saying Pikachu, like the Egoraptor Venusaur Pikachu video.
Pikachu!
Yeah, exactly. My Pikachu! Hit him with a thunder smash!
Venusaur, hit him with, like, whatever you feel like, bro! What?
Well, I mean, Venusaur! So that was really cool. Then he had 2 actors from the film come out on stage. Like, so it was cool. We were all excited thinking it was gonna be Ryan Reynolds because he's voicing Detective Pikachu. So he was like, and we have some stars in the movie coming out. And we're like, Ryan Reynolds in Nashville, and it was like 2 other people, but they were fun. They were nice.
Say he ain't there, dog.
No, he was too busy being Deadpool. But so the opening ceremony was. The other big thing they announced was for the trading card game, they have basically for the last 10 years, they've had these cards called EXs and GXs, which are like super powered versions of regular cards that do extra damage, have better abilities typically. And the trade-off to, since they are typically better cards, is if you knock out that card, you receive 2 prize cards instead of 1. So that's how they try to balance it. You know, it's like if you want to use better cards, it's going to cost you more if you lose them. So the thing they announced this year was tag battle cards, like tag team EXs or GXs. So it was like art of Pikachu and Zekrom. Zekrom's a legendary from Generation 5.
Okay.
And like they're both electric types. So it was an electric card. And, like, it was them together, so 2 Pokemon as 1 card instead of how it's been forever, which was, like, 1 Pokemon per card. And if you knock out that card, it's 3 prizes. So we got some power creep going on here. Because you could conceivably, if you knock out 2 of those tag team cards, that would be all 6 prizes you needed. So it was pretty cool, but people were generally disappointed that there wasn't like Let's Go news, which leads us into me standing in line for like 45 minutes waiting for the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee demo. Joe, what would you like to know?
I want to know. Okay, so you basically start either with. Oh, so you did Eevee, right?
No, so it seems like it was just like a demo build. It wasn't a Pikachu or Eevee game because the 6 Pokemon in your party were Pikachu, Eevee, Charizard, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and I forget the 6th one already. It was like 6 popular Pokemon. You know what I mean? So okay. The fact that you would have Eevee in a Pikachu game and vice versa makes me think it was just like a demo build. It wasn't either game specifically.
But didn't you say that you think that you can catch either one in either game?
I don't know if you can or not, because they always have that like trade mechanic, and they want you to buy both versions so you can trade over and stuff. So I feel like in Eevee you can't catch Pikachu and vice versa, but I'm not 100% confirmed on it. I don't know, because there still are version exclusives like Pikachu has like the red exclusives and Eevee has the blue, or whichever way it works. Like, so there still are the exclusives to back in Gen 1 where like I think like Arcanine was an exclusive in one of the games or something like that. He's still exclusive to one of the versions, to one of the Let's Go versions. So I would assume Pikachu and Eevee are exclusive to their games.
I know, but you said that you can't evolve Eevee.
You can't.
Yeah, so that's getting rid of. So that's like an exclusive only for the Pikachu one. Oh no, because you can't even. So wait, it's not even. You can't get Vaporeon, you can't get Jolteon, and you can't get.
I don't think you can. That's a good point. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'd have to look more into it. I've really not been too excited for Let's Go because I am a part of that like hardcore audience that they're intentionally like not marketing to with the Let's Go games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, since it wasn't for me, I was like, I'm still gonna buy it. I'm still gonna play it. You know, it's Gen 1. Yellow is my favorite Pokemon game, so it's a remake of Yellow, whatever. But I was like, I'm not happy that this is coming out. But then I played the demo, and Joe, literally, the 5 minutes I played was a grin from ear to ear the entire time. Like, I know it's super casual. I know there's like no abilities, and it's not, the wild battles are by catching instead of battling them. But man, there's something about that Kanto Gen 1 nostalgia that just makes you happy when you're playing it.
Dude, I know.
So what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna ask you. So, is it just as good as playing the original game, but with 3D and like better graphics, or is it changed up a little bit besides the capture mechanic?
So it's definitely. I mean, visually, obviously, not even comparable. But like, people think the visuals look bad. I don't think they do. I think it's a specific art style they're going for. You know what I mean? Like, they're not trying to make a gritty, like realistic graphics and visual version of Pokemon. They like that colorful and very round and very bright type of aesthetic with it. So I think the game looks gorgeous. Like, sure, maybe the character, the humans' heads could be a little more human sized and not not giant pumpkins. But I guess that's the art style they're going for. But like, as in terms of comparing Gen 1 to the Let's Go games, I think gameplay wise, Let's Go is just in the can. Like, it's not even close because it's missing so many mechanics that are modern conventions that they've built up over the last 20-something years, like abilities and how wild, like how I said, wild battles. I played it. You run into a Pokemon and then you try to catch it, and that's how you gain experience. So like they had helpful people from Nintendo, like they were wearing Switch shirts and they were going over with every person in line when they were playing how to play through, how to hold it, how to throw, all different fun facts and things like that. So I asked my guy, I was like, so you play the demos in the Viridian Forest. So I was like, so I just caught like 4 Kakunas here in this demo. Does that mean my box is gonna have like a million crappy 20 CP Pokemon, or like, you know what I mean? Like, how is the balance between, because when you're training a Pokemon, you either knock out the wild Pokemon that you're trying to, right? or you
Yeah.
catch it and then you want to use that. But so he was like, oh, we're not allowed to say at this point or whatever. So I didn't really get an answer on that because I'm worried about if I just have 2,000 Caterpies in my box. You know what I mean? Just from trying to grind up.
Yeah. So you only get experience by catching Pokemon.
By
You don't get
catching.
experience.
But then
No battling.
there are battles because there were trainers that you can, you walk in front of, they get the exclamation point and come up to you or whatever to battle. So there still
Yeah,
is battling, and
but there's no
you get
experience from it.
no, you get experience from those battles as well. But wild encounters, the only way to battle them is by catching them. Like you can't attack them and get their CP lower to then try to catch or anything like that. Like there isn't even a like battle option when you're in a wild encounter. It is literally only to throw the Pokeball.
Okay.
So that was really fun. I also learned that when you're walking around, if there's Pokemon with like red auras and blue auras around them, a red aura, so like I saw like a red Kakuna, and that meant it was larger than typical Kakuna.
Okay.
And then a blue one would mean that it's a smaller than typical of that species. And another one that another question I asked I didn't get an answer on, because it seemed like, and I could have just been close to leveling up or something, but it seemed like when I caught a red Pokemon, I felt like I got more experience from it. And I asked the person, I was like, do you get more experience from catching higher Pokemon or larger Pokemon of that species and then less if they're smaller? And he said he can't confirm that or not, or so he doesn't know that. So I don't know yet or not. I hope they tell us that, because I think that could be pretty cool since there are no random encounters anymore because you see all the Pokemon in the wild. Like if you can just keep coming in and out like of an entrance, to whichever field you're going to, and wait for the red versions of Pokemon that you want to fight, so you get more experience, so you don't waste your time on less experienced Pokemon. You get what I'm saying? Like facing a level 5 Pidgey compared to a level 2 Pidgey, if we're talking about like old mechanics, like stuff like that.
If you knew it was always there, you would always go to that spot.
Exactly. So I think that could be pretty cool. But yeah,
it's all single player, correct?
So you can I don't know about how it works story mode wise, but you can have somebody come into your game and you can have two people going around. In the demo they didn't do that. But in the game, like I saw in trailers, you had two trainers walking around the town together. Well, honestly, the nicest touch that they had, in my opinion, was that, remember back in Generation 4 with Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I think it was either your first or your last Pokemon was like your followed Pokemon, the one that followed behind you when you walked around.
It was your first one, but yeah.
Right. So what I think a really nice addition they did was you get to set which Pokemon you want to follow you. So, for example, I started out with
whatever.
So I started out with with Pikachu following me, and then because Pikachu was the first in my party, and then I was able to, without switching Pikachu out of the first slot in my party, I was able to set Charmander as my followed Pokemon. You know what I mean? So I think that's a little nice touch if let's say Squirtle's your favorite, so you want him walking around with you, but you're trying to train up a Pidgeotto or something like that. Put Pidgeotto first in your party, but you still get to walk around with your favorite Pokemon. Yeah. So it seems like it's kind of like two steps, or like one step forward, two steps back. Like there's some quality of life changes I enjoy, but then there's, they took away abilities, and there's no wild battles, and you need to.
What were the abilities? What do you? I think I may have missed you.
So every Pokemon has different abilities. So let's say, like Raichu has an ability called Lightning Rod, and it has multiple different abilities. But just for example, that one's called Lightning Rod. It can't be hit by electric attacks, and then if it is hit by one, it increases its special attack.
Was that in the original ones?
No, that's in games now. Abilities were introduced in Generation 3. They didn't take it out because it wasn't in Gen 1. They took it out for the simplification for Let's Go fans. So that's another slap in the face of the hardcore audience. You know what I mean? Because it's not even hardcore. Like, it's literally just a basic mechanic of the game that is no longer there. Where if you were a kid and Ruby and Sapphire was your first game, Like, you had abilities. So it's not like
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we got to make it as friendly as possible for new players. It's like, well, new players were able to adapt. If Black and White or Diamond and Pearl or X and Y was your first game, you were able to adapt with abilities and things like that. And then there still is that problem of remember I told you where Brock, they said you're not allowed to enter his gym unless you have a grass or water type Pokemon,
Yeah.
because Onyx is 4 times weak to grass and water, so you're not allowed to enter unless unless you can stomp Brock, which takes away the point of being able to, learn and adapt and get destroyed and have your Pikachu try to attack him and he's immune, and then you have to go back out and fight and find another strategy. So it takes away a lot of strategy, and it is kind of upsetting. I'm all in on it, especially after playing the game for 5 minutes, and they gave me this little Pokeball stress ball thing that I currently have in my hands that I used it all weekend. It's just very fun. Like, it is incredibly charming, the Let's Go demo that I played, and I know the game is going to be fun. I'm sure shiny hunters are going to have a field day with this game because you can actually see the Pokemon encounters. You don't have to waste your time. And shiny hunting is a really, really big portion of the Pokemon community right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it still is upsetting that it's like dance with what's the phrase? Dance with the one who brung you or whatever. The people that
Okay.
the people that got Game Freak to this state over the last 20 something years of finally being able to have a main series franchise game on a console where it's been 20 years of handhelds are the ones who are disregarded for the people who have faint interest of playing of the mobile game 2 years ago. You get what I'm saying? Where it's
I know what you're
we
saying.
got this franchise to where it is now, and our reward of having the first console Pokemon experience, core Pokemon experience, is, well, wait till next year. We're gonna try to get these other people who aren't necessarily air quote Pokemon fans and turn them into Pokemon fans, which I understand and I respect it. But why couldn't it have been the other way around? Why couldn't Generation 8 have come first? Give it that Breath of the Wild treatment everybody wants every game to go through, where you completely revitalize anything. And then you try to get the Let's Go fans in the following fall.
Yeah.
So, but I can't hold that against the demo because it's not the game's fault that it's being made first. So in my experience with the Let's Go demo, it was incredibly fun. I was smiling. I had like 7 different like excellent throws. Like, I had like the perfect throw, the tightest one, and the guy like high-fived me. He was like, "Oh man, that's really good." I don't know if he was just souping me up or not, but it still felt good to get that excellent throw.
Yeah.
The Pokeball, remember they made that like Pokeball controller thing?
Yeah, did you try that out?
Yeah, that's what I used. It's actually not hard at all. I didn't even know there's a second button on it. I thought there was only one. I thought you had your little Joy-Con to move around and you tap that's your A. On the top of the ball is a B button. I thought there was literally just one button on it. So the fact that I learned that it had 2 is still bad, but is better than only having 1, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But I could literally see myself like lazy on the couch with just one arm and my Switch, and like only literally using one finger to move around and stuff. Like, so it's very convenient, I would say. And of course, in that Pokeball is the only way you can get Mew in the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm definitely going to be getting that. But I am now, as someone who was not excited for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I am definitely now excited for the experience of playing with my friends. And, like, it's just fun. It's not what we wanted, but at least it's something that will entertain us until we get what we want, right?
Yeah. I agree with you.
And then throughout, like, just like quick hits throughout the rest of the weekend, we went to a bunch of bars, me and my friends. That was just so much fun. The Nashville nightlife was crazy. Like, everything down the street, there were a million bars. Different, like, every single different place had different live music, and some venues had even more, like 2 or 3 live musicians in the same bar in different parts of it. Like, it was just, the nightlife in Nashville was just so much fun. It was easily one of the best world cities that one of the best cities they put the world championships in recent memory.
Yeah. I have a friend who lives in Nashville, and he loves it down there. He
Yeah,
he
it
works
was so
in the
fun.
industry, but
I had
I'm sure.
moonshine, Joe.
I know you told me. I think you were
Yeah.
a little drunk when you texted me that.
I was feeling good. I was feeling good, Joe. Yeah, it was
Feeling
called.
great.
I had like this peach moonshine thing from this place called Thick Thighs. It was a chicken. It was a chicken joint, and the slogan was "Skip the breasts and go straight to the thighs." It was pretty funny. One of my friends bought a T-shirt that had that slogan on it.
Oh my god.
And it was a peach moonshine. That was nice. And then we had. You ever have the firecracker ice cream things, like the popsicles, like the red, white, and
Yeah.
blue as a kid? We
Yeah.
had essentially that. It was called the Redneck Weekend, and it was like this.
Oh,
It was
I've
like
heard
a
of that.
moonshine with it was made it look like red, white, and blue, and it tasted like one of those firecracker popsicles. It was delicious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I kind of wish that it was going back to Nashville again next year. But it's actually going to be in Washington D.C., which is much more convenient for me to get to.
That's a good place though too. They got a lot of stuff there.
Right. I'm excited for that. I have family down in DC and like early parts of Virginia, so that'll be fun. You can go visit them for the weekend. It's only like a 4-hour drive compared to the flight and everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I had great experiences. The last thing I'll say was going into the weekend, I had 3 goals. Literally, I played in like this regional tournament there. I didn't even care about winning it. That was not one of my goals. My goals were to meet specific like people that I really look up to and appreciate in the community.
Yeah.
So the whole weekend I had seen them, and you know me, Joe. You know I don't take that first step very often in life. So it was difficult for me to actually to lunge forward and try to open and talk to people I don't know, and I'm always nervous. I'm my own worst enemy. I get in my own head. So it took me like 3 days of seeing these people that I wanted to meet, and the whole time I'm like, oh my god, this is not what I want to say, and I just didn't take that step. And then on Sunday, after the World's Finals had ended, which congratulations to Paul Ruiz from Ecuador, he did a great job. He's your world champion. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And so the 3 people I wanted to meet, and if you saw you saw my Facebook post where I had it, or where I posted all my stuff from Nashville, was so Sejun Park was the 2014 world champion. He's from South Korea, and that was one of the first ever Pokemon VGC events I ever watched, and he won the world championships that year. And I've always I subscribed to him on Twitch. I watch him when he streams and stuff. Even though he's Korean, you know what I mean? So that's how cool he is. That he's not, he speaks Korean, but he still has a huge American audience. And then Ryota Atsubo, who won the world championships last year, I got to meet him as well, and that was really cool. I had a conversation with him. And then the other one was D1, who was a very big Smash Brothers commentator. I don't know if you know him or not, but he was there doing Pokken Tournament, and I had a good 5-minute conversation with him. And he was the nicest human being in the world. I was so nervous. I was like, oh, amazing. I think I'm a loser, blah, blah. But he was just an absolutely chill dude. And those were, sure, the nightlife was fun. The moonshine, the playing Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was a cool experience and stuff. But those 3 experiences, I was able to accomplish what I went down there for, was to meet people that I really appreciate and inspire me in this community. So that was the best part of the weekend for me.
And that's good. And I think you should tell everybody. You sent me a picture, and then you should tell everybody my response to you.
Oh my god! Let me get my phone out. Hold on, it's in my pocket.
Do you not remember?
Let's see a photo. Hold on. In case I cursed, I don't want to read it out loud. That's why I'm
You didn't curse.
Okay. So I sent him the photo of me and Ryota, who won the championship last year, 2017. He's a Japanese player, and I said, I met last year's world champion. And Joe said, did he know he was meeting this year's champion? Yeah, right? I guess he should have been asking me for a photo, right?
Yeah, right?
Oh,
I'm just saying, he didn't know who he was meeting. He didn't know he was meeting one of the hosts of Cup of Joe's.
Yeah. If only he knew. I bet we have a big Japanese Cup of Joe's demographic. I'm sure we could look it up. We got that one Canadian guy Your friend. What was your friend's name? We always give him a shout out.
Who?
Your friend. We give him a shout out on the show. He always listens. Jesse, right?
Oh, Jesse and my other friend Rachel. They always listen.
So
to
we
the show.
have the Canadian guy, Jesse, Rachel, my friend Adam, who always listens. So shout outs to Adam. Thank you, Daz. And then we must have a huge Japanese demographic now because Ryota took a picture with one of the co-hosts of Cup of Joe's.
Yeah, there you go.
I like how we're spinning this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything else you want? You have any questions on my Nashville experience or anything like that, or are we ready to move on?
Did you get any phone numbers?
Oh my god, I was not expecting that.
Joe Brown, were you on the prowl?
No, I was not on the prowl. Some of my friends were on the prowl, but no, I didn't. Not even like business inquiry wise phone numbers. I did meet some of the commentary, the official commentary stream people that I've seen for like 5 years now, and that was really cool because like they knew who I was. Like, so I was like, "Hi, my name is Joe," and he was like, "I know who you are, Joe." And I was like, like I was like dumbfounded. I'm like, "But you're like the big deal. Like I know who you are."
How do you know who I am?
Right. So that was a cool feeling. One of the commentators was like, "Yo, you do a really good job in commentary. Want to compliment you?" I was like, "Oh my god, I love you, thank you."
So like, please give me a job. Please,
but no, I did not. I didn't get any of their phone numbers or anything like that, or any phone numbers of any ladies or anything like that. I guess I dropped the ball on that one, Joe.
You didn't really. I was just curious. That was just a question I wanted to ask.
Well, I'm happy I answered it for you.
All right. Well,
all right. So, Joe, you come with me to DC next year?
DC?
That's where the championships are. Literally the whole weekend, I was like, please be Houston, please be Houston, please be Houston.
Oh, that would be the coolest.
I'd be like, oh my god, I'll save. My hotel was over $400 a night because Nashville is like so.
You would save so much money.
I would save over $400 a night because I would just stay in your place.
Yeah, you could sleep on my queen size air mattress that I have.
Ooh, fit for a queen like me.
Yep, it's bigger than my own bed.
Wow, you should just use the air mattress.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we're done with Pokemon there. It was a lot of fun. If anyone, again, like you can go on Twitter. I'm always involved in the community. Now we have a brand new format, Joe. This was the actually huge factor. Usually you play the same format for an entire year, and then the next calendar year is when you play a brand new game. This one, literally, I don't know, like 4 days from now or something, updates to a brand new format. Nobody was expecting that. I don't need to bore you with the specifics of it since it's not like something you're invested in. But that was crazy to learn like at the event. It's like, by the way, there's a regional in 3 weeks and it's in a brand new format. Good luck. You're going to have no idea what you're going to be facing.
You're ready. Here we come.
Yeah. So next thing we can talk about was the CD Projekt Red finally gave us good gameplay from Cyberpunk 77.
Your parent has been excited about this game.
2077, excuse me. That's probably the year.
2012.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably the year the game's gonna come out at this point, 2077. But
I hope not.
I hope not. It's damn. We got 48 minutes of footage, Joe.
I need to finish it. Joe Brown, I gotta go. Bye. I gotta go watch this.
Oh, okay. I'll see you later.
It's so pretty.
That's like the first thing that comes to your head, right? Is just the graphics. You're like, is this a console game? Like, it looks like a movie, dude.
Yeah, but like it's not gonna look that good on console unless you have the new the Xbox X,
the Pro, and you got like $1 million TV, and all that stuff, right? Yeah. So there were some things that really stood out to me that I liked. I think a lot of people didn't like the narrator going back and forth between the gameplay, but I appreciated that because the game is so visually intense that I kind of needed a guide to know where to look. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many cool things going on that, like, for him to say, like, oh, we've unlocked this skill chain or in our engineering tree so we can hack into this, where if we didn't have that, we wouldn't be able to hack into it. And like, if that guy wasn't there, I would have just thought like it was a scripted cutscene. But like, I was talking with one of my friends, Ted, about it, and he was saying like there are so many options in this game that like if you do like 4 separate playthroughs, where in Mass Effect you go like all good guy and then all bad guy, just so you know how do you get all the different options. Like if you do like 4 playthroughs of Cyberpunk 2077, you still might not get every single story option.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that it? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. I want this game so bad, Joe Brown.
Oh man, I thought it was cool. They played as the girl, the female version of the character named V. I believe I could totally be wrong, but I believe your name is V regardless, so it's easier for like the story. You know what I mean? So
Makes
the
sense.
characters will just say V. I know a lot of Avatar led games do that very often. But like it the combat it actually seems intimidating how in depth this game is. Like there's so many different branching dialogues and combat options and paths to get through missions based off of previous missions and skills and abilities that you've unlocked, and it just seems like I'm gonna be disappointed in myself if I don't spend 200 hours in this world.
Yeah.
Just to get through everything.
I agree with you. Like I really want to get this game. I've been excited for this game since the original trailer came out for it.
Yeah.
And I'm even like when they first showed it, I was kind of like, oh, it kind of looks more like a what was it? It kind of looks more like a Grand Theft Auto game. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And then I saw more of it, and I was like, okay, I've changed my mind completely. I want this game. And then I saw the gameplay, or at least a bit of the gameplay. I was like, oh my god, I need to play this game.
Yeah. It seems like it's just like the perfect hodgepodge of every popular series. Like it has that GTA like open sandboxy experience, we believe. Obviously we haven't seen everything, but it seems like you can do different things whenever you want. Then it's got like the UI is very like it has a very Fallout feel to me with the like how your objectives and things pick up and how you pick up weapons and stuff. Like it feels very Fallout-ish there. Then you got like the whole Mass Effect of like branching dialogues, or Detroit Become Human, I guess, is more current than Mass Effect would be, of like based off your previous interactions and altercations influences what happens in the future of your story, which is going to be great because that means my version of Night City is going to be completely different than Joe's version of it, probably, unless we both just choose the same options. Like, no, I'm going to be the good guy. It was funny though, watching that video. Like, you saw she had like 4 or 5 different dialogue options for most categories, or for most things she could say, and I pretty much disagreed with every option she went. No, with every option the demo went for. You know what I mean? So it's not even like watching the demo is going to hurt my or I guess not demo, it's a gameplay reveal. Watching the gameplay reveal, it's not even going to hurt my experience because my version of what I would have said as V in those situations is different than what they went for. You know what I mean? So it's still going to be a fresh experience. So it shows that it's not just Paragon and Renegade, and like if you're going to be good, you're going to choose the good answers. Like even within little branching dialogue of just like how are yous or whatever, like you're going to have different experiences than the rest of your friends.
Exactly. Like, but that's how Fallout I feel like is too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's got that Fallout vibe.
And I'm excited. Like I don't know. I was really into Fallout, and you know me, Joe Brown. We already talked about this. How I got that on lock for that pre-order. So I'm really excited to see how when this game actually comes out and what it's gonna be like.
I'm hoping 2019, man. But I don't know.
I'm hoping 2019 too. Maybe we'll get a surprise drop at the beginning of the year. No,
they're not gonna just drop it. They need to promote it. Yeah.
Dude, this game has been promoted since 2012.
No, I mean they need to promote the release date. They're not going to say in November. Oh, by the way, it comes out in March. Like they're going to give themselves like, I think next year's E3 will get a release date, even if that release date says 2020, whatever.
I feel like we're going to get this game by then.
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say about it. It just seems. Oh my god, it's like like I said, it's every game ever. And then I remember reading an article about like that CD Projekt Red's design philosophy is really like when they had different people who worked there during the Witcher series, and they interviewed them. They say like how directors would come home from playing different games after work at night and come in the next morning at work and be like, we need to implement this mechanic. And like, so you can tell they're gamers, you can tell they're definitely playing what's modern and trying to see what works in gaming and what doesn't. And it's just like they really appreciate like the game as entertainment, but also like as a world. And you can see Night City and like this game that they are like, it's like, why do I ever need another video game if I can just spend the rest of my life in this city?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so excited for it.
Dude, it's gonna be fun. I'm really pumped about it.
I'm gonna play as the guy. I'm gonna be real.
I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
I'm gonna play as the guy. And then I want to say second playthrough is the girl, but like, who knows? Maybe the first playthrough is 150 hours.
Hey, dude, who knows? Maybe the second playthrough is 145 hours.
Ooh, time save.
So I kind of agree with you. I think that's all we can really say about it. I think that's all we got. If you haven't seen the trailer for it, go not trailer, the gameplay. Go watch it. I'm trying to watch it as we talk, and it's not really working out, so I'm going to do it when we're done.
You're not giving it the full attention it deserves, because it really is. Yeah,
need the full attention. So,
but I will like to segue here, Joe, because Cyberpunk 2077 has great graphics, and how I can't think of anything. It's graphics.
You know how much Joe Perrion loves graphics.
There you go. I was gonna say, like, you know how graphics are good at graphics and
graphics
cards?
are good at graphics, and that brings us to Nvidia's big release that came out. I believe it was last week that they kind of talked about it. We got the new set of graphics cards up for pre-order soon. We're moving away from the 10 series, we're moving on to the 20 series, and we're no longer in the GTX series. We now are in the RTX series. Now,
isn't that like Rooster Teeth Con, right? Do they have a convention every year, RTX?
Yeah, they do.
Are they in charge of the graphics card?
No, RTX. Oh my gosh, I had what RTX means, but I forgot what it means.
Real time.
No,
xylophones. It's you think it's xylophones?
Yeah, it's real time xylophones. We're
gonna
be putting them in real
Joe
time.
hates me sometimes, and I love it.
What?
Because like you're like the way it's real time xylophones.
Yeah, that's it.
No more research here. I'll Google as you talk. I'll see what RTX stands for.
Oh no, I'm getting it right now. That's what I was researching it as I was responding to you.
Well, I guess we're both
real time ray tracing.
There's not even an X.
Well, it's the GTX. The meaning for GTX didn't actually have an X in it as well. It's just like their brand.
Okay, I got you. Or it's the 10th version, like iPhone.
No, but so where is it again? Which includes it includes like a lot more like the ray tracing. It's kind of like how my friend was describing it, because I didn't really know what it was at first. It's like they're painting the picture. The graphics card is pretty much just like painting the picture for you as it's coming up on screen. This technology has been around for a while, but this is available for the public to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like companies and like factories and like big corporations have had the use of this stuff, not for gaming, but for like stuff that they use. But now we're gonna get to use it in our PCs, and I'm sure we're gonna get them in consoles at one point. But it's really exciting. They keep showing the difference of like in games how like they show someone's eye and you kind of just see like the flickering of light in their eye, and like you can assume like there's a TV on or there's something in the back and behind you or that they're looking at that's causing that. But with this new RTX stuff, you can actually see the image of, you can see what they're looking at and the reflection in their eye of what it actually is. And it's just like it's really cool. I'm really excited about it. I really want to get one, but they're super expensive.
Yeah.
They're not super expensive. They're the normal price of what graphics cards are.
And that normal price is very expensive.
The normal price is so the 2070 is coming out. No. Hold on. Sorry, my phone's trying to listen to me. Don't. Sorry.
What? Are you recording yourself?
No, my phone was like, you know how Apple has Siri.
Mm-hmm.
Now Samsung has this thing called Bixby, and it'll pick up your voice sometimes and start like searching for something, and I don't know why it does it.
Bigsby. That's a fun name.
Bagsby. I'm sorry.
Bagsby. I wish it was
Bagsby.
Bigsby.
Me too. Oh no, it's Bixby. It is Bixby. All right.
Bixby.
Bixby. Anyway, so the price for the 2070 RTX is coming out at $599, which for the newest card, that's a pretty good price. Then we take a big. We don't take a big leap. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. We take another leap to $800 for the 2080, and then we take an even larger leap from the 2080 to the 20 Ti by doing it at $1,200. These are expected to ship out on or around the 20th of September of this year. So next month we're gonna get these cards. We're gonna hook them up. So they look pretty dope. I'm really excited about them. I really want to get one. So if you're listening out there and you want to buy me one of these things, it'd be awesome.
Just on a whim, like Joe's a good guy. I'll drop $1,200 for no reason.
But at the same time, I don't see these being in laptops for a while. Like, it's gonna take a bit for these to come.
But didn't you just update your desktop like a year ago?
No, I didn't.
I thought you got a new one.
I got a new one. Was that a year ago? It's gonna be 2 years in February.
So like a year and a half then.
Yeah, sure.
So like,
but
do you need
I bought a whole new system, but I would just be buying a card for this. So
that's what I was gonna ask. Like, is it worth to spend $1,200 to just replace one aspect of your year and a half old rig?
Well, I wouldn't spend. I'm not gonna buy the $1,200 one. I'd buy the $600 one.
You gotta go in, bro.
I'm not going in $1,200. That's like almost the exact. That's like more than half of what my entire computer cost. Like if I was making the money, yeah, I'd do it. But
gotta go for broke.
Maybe I'll ask for it for Christmas.
I'll call up Ho Ho.
Let me call up Santa. Hello, Santa. Why don't you come and drop a card off for me for Christmas?
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it does. But they look really cool. The new graphics that they're gonna put out looks really awesome. And I'm just super pumped for them. If you want to know more information, Polygon has a really good article about it. And it kind of breaks down everything for you right there. So go check it out. And I'm gonna totally start selling things around the house to get these things.
Yeah, I was gonna say I need a new computer, man.
Hey, I'm not buying you one.
No. I'm saying for me, like I need at some point I'm gonna need to upgrade, and I'm also broke, so it's not a good combination to have.
Yeah. So
one day I'll get off this toaster and be able to play PUBG with you.
Yes. Also, there's a lot of game trailers out for that kind of like you can see what it looks like with the new graphics. Like they have one for Battlefield 5, they have one for Metro Exodus, and they have one for the new Shadows of the Tomb Raider. And they look amazing.
And that game looks gorgeous.
That game looks amazing.
You know go ahead.
Nope, that was it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, you know what other game looks gorgeous?
What?
Spider-Man, and it comes out next week, Joe.
Friday. I'm gonna have it. It's getting shipped to my apartment.
I don't even. Oh my God, do I have off? I have literally no idea if I have off the day it comes out or not. I hope I do. Oh my God, Joe, just Spider-Man.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, okay, for anyone who this is their first episode of Cup of Joe's that they're listening to. I want to see the percentage of the last 29 episodes where we talk about Spider-Man. If it's got to be at least double digits.
Like we talked about purchasing the collector's edition. We both said we were gonna go do it, and we did it, and we talked about it.
Oh all right. My God! Dude.
Now to go to a more serious note, more somber type of environment.
So
Um,
I will say, just as a warning, we are going to talk about the recent events with the Jacksonville shooter and the Madden tournament and everything. So if you are uncomfortable with that, I want to say thank you for listening to this episode of Cup of Joe's. We appreciate it. If you could share it around, since we are a brand new YouTube channel, or even if you are listening on Podbean, we could always use that share too. And we totally understand, but we wanted to kind of separate our fun light things like Pokemon and Cyberpunk with kind of the dreadful news of this last topic. So just give you that little buffer, so in case you wanted to head out, thank you for listening. But yeah, we're gonna move on to a more somber topic.
um, Thank you for the disclaimer, Joe Brown. But if you haven't heard yet, which I kind of feel like if you are in the gaming community, you've already heard about this. Um, Jacksonville had a shooting at a Madden 19 tournament. Apparently, a player got very agitated and irritated that he had lost and decided to start shooting up at different people and different players during the matches. About 11 people were hurt. I think 4 people were killed was the last time I saw it. They immediately canceled everything. The entire tournament became canceled after that. And the person who did it also ended their own life within the same situation. Now, the thing that makes me extremely annoyed about this, and like same thing with everything that happens at the school shootings and like just shootings in general, like this was a place where people go to get away from the problems that happen in their real life. Like they want to get away from the world. Like I'm gonna go pretend to be a star quarterback on like the 49ers, and I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna take it all the way to the Super Bowl. And that's my dream, and that's what I'm gonna do in this video game. I'm gonna make a career in this game. I'm gonna like because they all have that storyline where you make a career as a player and you play it all the way through and you join the team. And people were in their element, away from real life, to enjoy themselves and a time together with other people in their community, and someone decided to ruin that for everybody. I had seen several people state that they are no longer ever coming back to the community.
Yep.
That this has ruined everything for them. Like I can't imagine. I don't like if I was in the situation. I don't even know if I would ever play video games ever again because of how traumatizing that situation would be. I can't imagine like how people who are involved in school shootings have to go back to the buildings
Right.
and see the exact same places that they had to be through when all that was happening. So like it's horrible, and it's annoying. Like I can't believe what happened.
It's definitely irritating that this happens consistently. Yeah.
Yeah. And then to throw everything on top of that, here comes the media. Guess what? This happened because of violent video games. Look, it happened at a video game tournament. I'm sorry. I didn't know football
Right.
was a violent video game.
Football is Mortal Kombat all of a sudden.
Well, not only that, but like this didn't happen at a Call of Duty tournament. This happened at a Battlefield tournament. This happened at a Madden tournament, like a football tournament. This isn't. If someone shoots up a football game, you're gonna say that happens because of video games too? Like, well, yeah, actually, you know what? Never mind.
That's what they do because they're brain dead and they're just trying to get clicks. So that is what they would do.
Like
you have to divert from the actual problems and blame other factors because you can't let anything actually get done. You can't have reasonable and meaningful change in society because how things are currently constructed, there are the haves and the have-nots, and the people who absolutely benefit from every month and a half or so these tragic stories coming around. You can take that however you want, but that's the current world that we live in, especially within America. I've seen European players of different esports saying like I'm genuinely concerned like why I should ever come back and play esports in America instead of in my local scene for this threat. And like as you're saying, if you're in that Madden community, how do you go back to that? How do you see, these same people or go to those same venues that you were at where these terrible, horrendous, tragic altercations took place and just not be scarred for life and continue, and that's the goal of these terrible, just atrocious human beings. Like you talked about escapism, right? Where people go here to escape from their reality, to enjoy life. that's why I went to Nashville, right? Like I was, I'm working a job. It's draining. I have bills I got to pay. I'm going to go with my friends down and celebrate something we all mutually love together. And actually in 2015 in Boston, there was, now I don't want to say an attempt, like a gunman attempt, because it was stopped before they even got into the building. So great job by the security there. But when we were at the World Championships in Boston, there were 2 people arrested with trying to bring guns in, and they had posted on social media that they were trying to shoot up the World Championship. So like that almost could have occurred to me. You know what I mean? Like in my
Yeah.
community. So it is infuriating that we have to live in a constant state of fear, and the things that are supposed to help us live with that, like, okay, real life sucks, but at least I'm here playing Madden with my friends, and as of right now, sure, I might have a crappy job, or I got bills paying up, or I have problems with my my loved ones or whatever, but while I'm here, I'm having a great time, and I can leave those troubles away. And even our escapist hobbies, like the Aurora shooter with the Dark Knight Rises back in 2012, like the same exact situation. Even the places we go to feel safe and okay with the world are not safe anymore.
Exactly. Like, and it's infuriating. Like, I don't even know.
And if we want to touch on the media narrative,
Really
it's been
like,
going on for 30 years now, Joe. Like it is always it baffles my mind. It made sense when 65-year-old news anchors in 1992 or whenever were
didn't
like, "Oh,
understand
okay,
Mortal
video games
Kombat.
are terrible. Look at these, these crazy realistic graphics that look like garbage now in comparison." But at the time, oh, blood, blah blah blah. Video games are the death to society. It's the worst thing ever. It's the devil's work. But people who are now in the media, say a 45-year-old who writes an article about violence in video games and how video games caused this problem with the Madden tournament, like they grew up in that era of terror and fear and misinformation and misrepresenting the truth of those situations, so they should know better, right? So it's shame on the current media people who are promoting this, and not the ones with an agenda. I understand what they're doing, but the ones who genuinely are like, no, I think this is a considerable problem, and video games are, like violence in video games needs to be addressed. Like those people are the ones I'm disgusted with, not the scummy people who have maybe they work for certain organizations or something, or have an agenda for a reason for them to be outraged right now. They suck regardless of any situation. But the ones who have a voice, and instead of squashing these idiotic and unfound narratives every time this comes out, are actually promoting the problem. That's the people I'm disgusted with.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I don't want to talk anymore about this because it's not worth our time.
Let's go back to Pokemon. No.
We're talking enough about Pokemon, Joe, bro.
No, I love it. Let's talk more about Spider-Man. Oh, actually, I do have a fun question for you. I saw this on Twitter. I saw it going around. Okay, I was actually going to lead the show with it, but I forgot because that's how my brain works. So think of the PlayStation 1 or the PlayStation, whatever you want to call it, the PSX, that beautiful rectangular system in all its nostalgic silver beautiful glory. Okay, you got that in your head. You've closed your eyes are closed.
Okay.
You're thinking of the PS1?
I am.
What's the first game that comes to your mind?
Crash Bandicoot.
This is why we're best friends, Joe. I saw that, so it was like GTA 3. I'm like,
get
okay,
out of here.
Okay. When you see that Sony Silver PS1, you think of Crash Bandicoot or Spyro, or I guess maybe someone could have said Final Fantasy 7, whatever. But like,
yeah, that was my second one. Immediately was Spyro and Final Fantasy 7. Those were the two other ones that followed my brain.
That's so for anybody who's still listening, thank you. We really appreciate you sitting here with us for around an hour now. But let us know in the comments, when you close your eyes and see the PlayStation 1 in all its nostalgic glory, what is the first game that pops into your head? I'm generally. What do you think would be the most common game? I think it would be Crash.
It could be Crash
From our generation, at least.
Just
Maybe
from the PlayStation,
older,
or are we opening it to everything?
No. For if you have if you're the PS1 in your head, you're envisioning the PS1.
Oh.
Like in our generation, I think it would be Crash.
It would be Crash. I think we had to hit the top 3. Crash, Spyro, or Final Fantasy.
Well, I think Final Fantasy, you'd probably be like a little older than us. Like you might have been a teenager when we. I
don't know.
No, I'm not saying you couldn't have played it when you were 7. But for it to be the first thing you think of, like the most nostalgic to you, you probably were at least like 11 or 12.
I don't know. I wanna say that those would be the top 3 that we would find.
Yeah. When you think of the Dreamcast, no, I was just kidding.
When you think of the Dreamcast, Sonic Adventure 1.
Yes, Sonic. You just answer Sonic and you got the right answer. Doesn't even matter.
It
doesn't even matter which game.
Yeah, you know it.
But yeah, so that is our first episode on YouTube, just successfully done. How's it feel, Joe? You're a YouTuber now. Put it in your bio.
All right, bio. Joe Perrin, YouTuber.
Extraordinaire.
Yes. You know me.
Yep. So thank you for everybody listening to this week's episode of Cup of Joe's. This is a big deal. We're actually coming up on our 1-year anniversary soon, Joe. I don't know if you noticed that or not. I don't have the date in memory. I'm sure we can look at when episode 1 was. I believe it was in October last year. So
for Cup of Joe's, it was either in October or November. One of those.
Right. So we got to think of a 1-year anniversary special, something to do with that. But if anyone does have any questions or topics they would like for us to cover in future episodes of Cup of Joe's, make sure to leave a comment down below, or you can also message me. I'm not sure Joe on Twitter, but I'm at Zeminan, Xeminan. That description will also be linked in the description. So, you ready to call this one a night and go watch the rest of Cyberpunk?
Heck yeah, dog. I'm ready for it.
All right. We'll see you next time.
See you later, everybody.